Hi there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training website passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I will teach you how to pass a safety officer interview. So if you are applying to become a safety officer with any company or organisation whatsoever, make sure you stay tuned because I will help you to succeed and to achieve that goal. This is what I will cover. I will give you a list of safety officer interview questions that I strongly recommend you prepare for. I will give you brilliant top scoring answers to tough safety officer interview questions. I will also give you some really important tips on how you can stand out during your safety officer job interview, and I will then tell you how you can access further resources, including these slides and the answers to help you succeed. And just very quickly, my name is Richard McMunn. I am a former fire officer and a safety officer who has many years experience in the role. If you are on LinkedIn, please make sure you connect with me. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It's always good to connect with like-minded professionals. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and please give the video a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Now, the first safety officer interview question that I want you to prepare for is tell me about yourself, because this will be the first safety officer interview question that comes up during your interview. Now, in your response, talk about the different skills, qualities and experience you have that will make you a competent and effective safety officer for their organisation. Here's a great example answer to assist you. Tell me about yourself. Here we go. Thank you for inviting me to be interviewed for this safety officer position today. Now, over the years, I have built up extensive experience, skills and knowledge that are a strong match for the job description. I am passionate about safety, meticulous in my planning and organising, and I always work quickly to build a culture within the organisation where everybody, from the top down, puts safety above everything else. Important skills and qualities I possess that will enable me to excel in the role include strong communication and interpersonal skills. I always communicate consistently, ensuring the safety messages and policies I want to put across are understood. I will build strong relationships with the senior management team and managers within the organisation to ensure the health and safety objectives are conveyed throughout the company. Finally, my knowledge of health and safety law, regulations and procedures are second to none, and I will make sure I protect your organisation and your employees from the hazards and risks that are present. So that's a really good, rock solid, confident answer that sets you up with confidence for the rest of your safety officer interview. Now, you can either pause the video if you want to and take a note of the questions and answers as I work through them with you, or if you wait, I will soon tell you where you can download my full set of safety officer interview questions and top scoring answers, including the ones covered during this tutorial. Here is the next question that I want you to prepare for. Why do you want to work here as a safety officer? Now, this question is guaranteed to come up during your safety officer interview. The interviewer wants to hear that you have researched their organisation and that you have valid and genuine reasons for wanting to work there. So here's another great answer to help you. Why do you want to work here as a safety officer? I want to work for you because I genuinely believe you can only achieve your objectives as a safety officer if the organisation you are working for is serious about safety and it supports you in your work. Now, having carried out lots of research into your company, it is clear you take your responsibility seriously and you have a culture that puts safety above everything else. I am passionate about safety, and doing things the right way is something I always look for in a company when seeking employment. Now, if successful, I plan to stay working with your company for many years to come, and I feel this is a place I will be supported in my duties. That's another really good answer to help you pass your safety officer interview. Now, don't go anywhere because I still have more questions and answers to give you, but when you're ready, if you want to click that link in the top right hand corner of the video, it will take you through to my website passmyinterview.com, and you can download my full set of 21 safety officer interview questions and top scoring answers, including the ones covered within this presentation today. Here is the next question that I want you to prepare for. What are the different steps of a risk assessment? Now, make sure your knowledge of risk assessments and how to conduct one is up to scratch before you attend your safety officer interview. Here's another great example answer to help you. What are the different steps of a risk assessment? Here we go. There are 5 steps to a risk assessment that I always follow. Step 1 is to identify the hazards. I define a hazard as the potential for something to cause harm or create an adverse health effect on people within the workplace. Now, to identify organisational hazards, a thorough inspection would need to take place. For example, if electrical testing is not being carried out on electrical appliances, that is a hazard. Once the hazards had been identified, I would move on to step 2, which is to decide who within the organisation might be harmed and how. Step 3 is to then evaluate the risks and decide on what precautions we need to take. Now, the risk is the chance that the hazard will cause harm, and in the case of a lack of organisational electrical testing, the risks are very high. Therefore, the only way to reduce the risk and to eliminate the hazard is to either conduct periodic qualified electrical testing or to remove the appliance from use altogether. Step 4, I would make sure my findings were reported accurately before implementing the outcomes of those findings. And it would be important to act quickly and decisively on those findings and ensure everyone within the organisation was aware. Now, finally, the 5th step is to periodically review and update the risk assessment. And as the safety officer, that would be my responsibility. That's a really good answer, because you are not just giving the 5 steps, you are giving practical examples of how they would be implemented within their organisation. So it's a really good answer that helps put you ahead of the competition. Here's the next safety officer interview question that I want you to prepare for. What are the most important skills and qualities needed to be a safety officer? Now, this safety officer interview question is assessing your understanding of the job description. Now, if you cannot answer this question correctly, you will not pass the interview. Here's another great answer to help you. What are the most important skills and qualities needed to be a safety officer? Here we go. A competent and professional safety officer needs numerous skills and qualities. Now, first and foremost, they need a thorough understanding of safety, how it is managed in the workplace, and the relevant laws and regulations that encompass it. A safety officer must have strong communication, influencing and interpersonal skills, and be able to explain the benefits of safety in a concise and clear manner to the workforce. Safety officers need strong analytical and problem-solving skills and respond quickly to issues, hazards, risks, and problems as and when they occur. A safety officer must be able to work with people at all levels from within the organisation, as well as being commercially aware. Safety officers must be IT literate, because the vast majority of the work they carry out will be recorded, shared, and disseminated online. Other essential skills and qualities needed by safety officers include having a good eye for detail, confidence in their abilities, taking responsibility for their continuous professional development, and making sure they keep updated with developments and laws from within the health and safety sector. That's another really good answer that shows you are the candidate they should be choosing. What would you include in a safety policy if we asked you to create one? Now, this is a difficult safety officer interview question to answer correctly. Consider their organisation and what they would need to include in a safety policy if creating one from scratch. Here's a really good in-depth answer to help you. What would you include in a safety policy if we asked you to create one? Here we go. There are many different things you can include in a safety policy, and its content would very much depend on the needs of the organisation I was working for. However, my safety policy would always start with a health and safety policy statement, which is essentially the organisation's statement of intent. What are the aims and objectives of the policy, and who is it for are important statements that must be included. I would then include details relating to the organisation and management of safety, and this would focus on who was responsible for health and safety in the workplace. I would include details relating to the different individual policies the organisation had and how the risks within the organisation were going to be managed. Now, there are many individual sub-policies that I would consider including, such as risk assessments, first aid procedures, how we will control substances that are hazardous to health, manual handling procedures, and policies relevant to drugs, alcohol, and smoking. I would also consider including the testing of electrical appliances and installations, the operation of machinery, visitor procedures, maintenance procedures, periodic testing, and the training of staff and safety reporting procedures. Now, it will be important to have a culture within the organisation where reporting was not only seen as best practice, but also encouraged. Now, you can use that as a basis for your own response to that common safety officer interview question. Here's another one that I believe will come up during your safety officer interview. What are your strengths and weaknesses? So again, this question is pretty much guaranteed to come up during your interview. Structure your response so that you give them 4 or 5 strengths and then just one weakness that is not a match for the job description. Here's my example answer to help you. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Here we go. My strengths include my strong planning and organising capabilities and my passion for safety. This means my knowledge of safety and the laws and policies your organisation is responsible for will always be up to date and relevant. Other strengths include my commercial awareness and my relationship building skills. Now, I understand that you are running a business and it is imperative I work with you to ensure your organisation is protected from the risks and hazards that are present within the workplace. Another core strength of mine is my ability to work quickly and accurately and create policies that everyone in the organisation understands and adheres to. Now, my weakness is the fact I find it difficult to ask other people for help whenever I need it. I take great pride in my work as a safety officer, and I prefer to figure things out for myself instead of asking others for help or guidance, which would be a faster way of doing things. Having said that, I am the type of person who is always seeking to develop, and I am learning to be more mindful whenever I encounter situations such as these. So that's a really good answer. The next thing to do, make sure you click that link right now in the top right hand corner of the video. It takes you through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can download my full set of 21 safety officer interview questions and top scoring answers, including the ones we have just gone through together today during this presentation. Finally, don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. Please subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss out, and give the video a like. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your safety officer interview. Have a brilliant day.